Unmasked and unmoved by health experts, President Trump is playing the distractor-in-chief, picking fights and spreading misinformation as the number of dead in the U.S. from the coronavirus hovered at the heartbreaking milestone of 100,000 lives lost. Stoking a culture war over wearing masks.
Can you take it up because I cannot hear you?
I'll just speak louder, sir.
Oh, okay, good. You want to be politically correct. Go ahead.
But even fellow Republicans aren't following the president's lead.
This is not about politics. This is not about liberal or conservative. This is not a liberal or conservative issue. This is a issue of how do I protect my neighbor? How do I protect people that I love? How do I protect people that I don't even know?
The president leveled more false attacks on MSNBC's Joe Scarborough, drawing a rebuke from Senator Mitt Romney, who tweeted, "I know Joe Scarborough. Joe is a friend of mine. Enough already. Twitter has had enough too." On Mr. Trump's bogus complaints that mail-in voting leads to widespread fraud, Twitter flagged his followers to get the facts. The president threatened to shut down Twitter on Twitter, warning, "We will strongly regulate or close them down before we can ever allow this to happen." As it turns out, the president and White House press secretary Kayleigh McEnany have voted by mail in Florida. McEnany told CNN absentee voting has the word absent in it for a reason. It means you're absent from the jurisdiction or unable to vote in person. President Trump is against the Democrat plan to politicize the coronavirus and expand mass mail-in voting without a reason, which has a high propensity for voter fraud. But that's not quite the case. The Florida Division of Elections says, except on Election Day, no excuse is needed to vote a vote-by-mail ballot. A fact lost on the president.
Absentee is okay. You're sick. You're away. As an example, I have to do an absentee because I'm voting in Florida and I happen to be president.
As for the president's fixation on hydroxychloroquine to treat the coronavirus, France just announced it's banning the use of the drug for COVID-19. Fauci told CNN hydroxychloroquine just hasn't panned out as a treatment.
I'm not so sure it should be banned, but clearly the scientific data is really quite evident now about the lack of efficacy for it.
The president's litany of distractions during the pandemic stands in stark contrast with a different president, John F. Kennedy, and his message during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Many months of sacrifice and self-discipline lie ahead, months in which both our patience and our will be tested, months in which many threats and denunciations will keep us aware of our dangers. But the greatest danger of all would be to do nothing.